Henry, Henry, you must know Henry's cat.
You must have seen the movie, you must have read the book. He's a mellow yellow feline, so take a second look. He knows everything about nothing, and not too much about that. So if you know someone who knows what he knows, then you must know Henry's cat.
Henry's cat looked out of the window.
Oh, why doesn't something exciting happen?
He thought to himself. Hardly had the thought left his mind when there was a on the door. When he opened it, there was no one there. Then, suddenly, someone gave him a big kiss and said,
Oh, this is a kissogram. Happy birthday!
Before Henry's cat could regain his composure, a frightening figure howled, This is a ghostagram! Happy birthday! He was wondering what was going to happen next, and he soon found out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Henry cat. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, what sort of happy birthday is this? Inquired Henry's cat. Oh, it's a joke! It's a joke! For your birthday! Said Chris Rabbit. Oh, it's a funny sort of joke, said Henry's cat. By which I mean it's an unfunny sort of joke. And anyway, my birthday is not till tomorrow, so there. I think we've upset him. I think we've upset him, said Chris Rabbit. Never had a truer word been spoken. Henry's cat was furious. Oh, I'll never speak to any of them again, and I'll tell them so right away. Still in a furious mood, Henry's cat took his breakfast of custard and chips and watched television. The programme was about famous film stars in Hollywood who had started off in ordinary jobs. Texas Joe Yonkers, the famous cowboy star, had once been a peanut seller at football games. And Minnie Moomar, the romantic heroine loved by millions, had once been an egg cup tester in a hen factory. Henry's cat had a sudden thought. If they could go to Hollywood and become stars, so could he.
You know that I could be a star, not a freak who isn't unique. With my ultra-perfect physique, I'd show 'em what my talents are. I know that I could be a star. I could sing about anything, just like old Sinatra or Bing. All I need is my guitar. Yes, I could be a star. I could dance with Hedy Lamarr if they gave me half a chance. Just watch me now. I could also do the splits like Stanford on the Ritz. I could be the king of Hollywood. About-do-do. I could be a star, making all my muscles ache, pirouetting in the Swan Lake. Yes, I could stand the pain. You know that I could be a star. Look at the OVR. I could really hold the screen out. God, he's better than Valentino. I could be a star. With my talents, I'd really go far. If they gave me half a chance, you could really romance. My hairstyle would be grander with more fruit than common Miranda. I could be the queen of Hollywood. About-do-do. I could be a star. It's my destiny to succeed. Every movie mogul's agreed. That yellow fellow has talent, you know. I'm certainly a property and possibly top of the tree. Could be very hot and then again. Woo, I just like gold to be a star.
Henry's cat made a decision. His future lay before his past, and all those friends who had upset him would be forgotten. He wrote a postcard to Hollywood.
Oh, dear Hollywood, I will be arriving soonest. Please have everything ready. Love, Henry's cat.
Then, putting on his sunglasses, everybody in Hollywood wears sunglasses, he caught the number 9 helibus to Los Angeles. Unfortunately, no one was there to greet him. Perhaps he had got off at the wrong bus stop. However, he soon saw a film studio and joined a queue of eager-looking extras.
Yeah, we need 2 big ones and a small bouncy one. You, and you. Go and get made up.
Well, Henry's cat had an axe put in his head and arrows and knives stuck in him. He was to be part of a cowboys and Indians film.
Cut. Print it. Next shot. Whoa! Action. Cut. Yeah, great. Next shot.
This turned out to be the death of Lord Nelson. He was told to salute as the ship went down. Henry's cat was just going down for the 3rd time when he was fished out. He flopped down, not knowing what was happening, which was probably just as well, as someone then put a crash helmet on him. Well, he was fired from a cannon, caught by a man on the flying trapeze, who then dropped him onto a slippery floor. A very bewildered, bedraggled and bruised Henry's cat made his way to the film office. The producer gave him lots of money and said,
Hey, great rehearsal, man. Tomorrow we do it for real.
Henry's cat realized that he had gone into the stuntsman's office by mistake.
Oh dear, that's one stunt I won't pull again. I'll have to find fame and fortune some other way.
Well, another way soon presented itself. This looked like just the right sort of thing for expressing Henry's cat's talents.
Okay, everybody. I have all your names on this list. And on this list, I have all the famous stars' names. Over there is a box of clothes and makeup. And the first star is Charlie Chaplin.
They were all so good it was difficult to choose between them.
And their next look-alike is Mickey Mouse.
Again, they were all so good it was difficult to tell them from the real film star. The presenter was just about to announce the name of the next famous film star when he sneezed and dropped his papers. Unfortunately, he read out the wrong one by mistake, and instead of a film star, he called out a contestant.
And the next famous film star is Henry's cat.
Henry's cat just stood there looking bewildered.
And now for the winner. Yes, the winner by a short head and a large stomach is Henry's cat. Oh, yeah? Is that so? Well, I say he's no film star. I ain't never heard of him.
Well, the presenter didn't want to look silly on TV, so he quickly made up something about Henry's cat.
Well, sir, not only is Henry's cat a fine example of a Henry's cat look-alike, he's also a real Henry's cat in his spare time. And he comes from Europe and England, where he is very famous anonymously because he's shy.
Very soon, everyone in America knew of Henry's cat, to say nothing of Kenny Kidley, the cuddly toy manufacturer.
Hey, listen, everybody! I got this great idea! I'm gonna make Henry's cat look-alike masks. Very soon, everybody in the United States will be wearing them.
Then one day something terrible happened. Someone had traced Henry's cat's ancestry and discovered he was not and never had been a famous film star. He was immediately arrested for false impersonation of himself and taken to court and had to prove his identity or go to jail. It was a big problem for a small cat. Then he had a bright idea.
Oh, why can't I call all my friends? They know who I am.
The judge thought it was a good idea too, and immediately sent for Henry's cat's friends as witnesses. They went straight into court to identify him.
Can you prove that your friend Henry's cat is in fact Henry's cat and not a look-alike of himself?
Said the judge.
Oh, that's easy,
Said Chris Rabbit.
There are lots of look-alikes, but there's only one eat-alike. No one can eat like Henry's cat except Henry's cat.
Oh, wow, very well. I want all you Henry's cats to eat a large pudding,
said the judge. Of course, the real Henry's cat was eating long after all the others had begun to feel ill. The proof of the eating was in the pudding. A fatter and happier cat left the court with compensation for mistaken identity. All the newspaper men were there, and people from television. Everybody in Hollywood followed the story. A famous film producer thought the story would make a good film and offered Henry's cat a contract.
Oh, that's funny. I came to Hollywood to become rich and famous, but it only happened when my friends came with me.
Henry's cat and his friends were photographed with famous stars. They made a film together. All was forgiven. Henry's cat would never leave his friends again. And that is the true story of how Henry's cat became a famous film star. Only the facts have been altered to protect the innocent. Well, they all returned to Europe, England, happier for their experience. Henry's cat got out a look-alike mask and said,
"Oh, well, you can fool some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool friends. Which reminds me, I still have a birthday party to use up."
You must have seen the movie the book. He's a mellow yellow feline, so take a second look. He knows everything about nothing, and not too much about that. So if you know someone who knows what he knows, then you must know Henry's cat. Then you must know Henry's cat.